What up? It's Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Alright, so play-in tournament commenced last night. And two teams, well, they ain't out. They one step from being out. But this video is going to be about players that talk a lot of stuff, but the results do not match up with the talk. And who am I talking about? It was two players last night. Well, three really. One was Trey Young. Now, I wasn't expecting them to have like a 50-point night or something like that, but they got blown out by the Magic. And you would think with his experience, because the Magic really ain't been nowhere for a while, you would think with his experience, he could have pulled off something last night, but they got blown out. And then he gets thrown out for doing like, what, a nutmeg? I saw it, but I don't know. But, you know, for a guy that's been in as long as he has, the team apparently is not going in the right direction as far as being ready for a big game. I mean, who was in Atlanta? Quinn Snyder? But anyway, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother subject. But Trey Young, he went out last night, got kicked out. We'll see what happens. Second player, well, I'm gonna go to Draymond Green. I got Draymond Green. Now, they won last night, but my man had 4 points and 6 fouls. and he swears he's some kind of top-notch player. I mean, all the talk he does. And he comes out in a playoff game with him being in the league, I want to say 10 years. He's been in for a while now, though. But for a guy with his experience and the championships that's under him, you would expect he'd have more than 4 points. But again, he's playing like he's always played. Well, let me adjust that. He's playing like he's always played for the past five years. The best version of Draymond Green was the first few years in the league when Mark Jackson had him on the bench, and he was a spark plug. Then he moved up to the starting lineup with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr giving him some more lenient. He was more lenient in giving him minutes, so he's grown in the organization since then. But I mean, my man's play leaves a lot to be desired. But he swears he's you shouldn't open your mouth against anybody, Draymond, because that was, now granted, they might have been calling the game a little tight to keep Memphis in it. I give you that much, but being the supposed defensive player the great defensive player that you say you are, you would think that he'd be able to find a way around it instead of fouling out in a play-in game. And it's basically a playoff game, because that means they playing the next team up, and then they'll be out. So that's how that goes. But That's number 2. Now my third one, I didn't look at his box score. They did mount a little bit of a comeback against Golden State, but Ja Morant, man. Ja Morant been in the league 3, 4, 5 years now, and that's what we get out of that. Now I ain't saying that. I wish I would have looked at his box score, but I looked at the closing minutes of the game, and he had a really bad, really crucial turnover in the last few minutes because it was a tight game going down. But Ja Morant, it's a peculiar state of affairs. Excuse me, it's a peculiar state of affairs with him basically not getting any kind of feedback or any kind of anything from the mainstream media. Now, there's a couple of people that's pointed out Ja Morant's issues, but for the most part, he does whatever he wants to do. Example, 280 with the grenade thing, with the grenade celebration, and that leads me. That's another point to this thing with Ja Morant and LeBron. I mean, he still ain't learned it, but he's cutting out. Well, nah, he ain't really cut him out. It's just not that many shenanigans as far as playing on the court. He's kind of cut that out. I remember when he first got in, he used to play all the time. Remember the fake pictures they were taking and all the dancing and stuff. Different people have different mindsets. I get that. I don't know if I would have been able to be focused if I was playing around. Playing around before the game, especially an important game. I'm not saying you're supposed to be solemn and have eyeball, have your eyes bulging and all that other stuff, but it's a certain sense of seriousness that comes with these games because you're getting put out, you're getting eliminated. So I mean, like, tomorrow might not be promised. So if these guys was rookies, all 3 of these guys, if they were rookies, then we could say something. I mean, then you could give them a little leeway. But I mean, these guys are veterans. Been in 2, 3, 4, 5 plus years. 2, 3, 4 years. But yeah, man. Interesting to see what's going to go down tonight in the play-in. Got some interesting games. So we're going to see where it goes. But that's my 2 cents on these players that should have showed up big last night, but didn't quite hit it. So, Grandpa out.